let's talk credible neutrality. Yeah, give us a little breakdown, like what your talk was about, why you think it's important for DAOs in particular, and what were the main learnings from it for those who weren't there, weren't able to attend.
Yeah, faux show. The talk was about building a brand in Web3. At first, they said they really want someone to speak on this because like a lot of people have asked for it. And I was at first I'm thinking like I don't know if I'm exactly the right person to go for this because while Tally's a brand, it's less of a like media brand, right? And more of like its use case is less as like a brand and more of like a governance studio, like DAO infrastructure. So I thought that at first, and then I started thinking like, well, what is a brand in Web3, and what's that have to do with Tally or anything we care about? And I was like, well, a brand in Web3 is something that's trustless and credibly neutral, right? And that's exactly the infrastructure that we provide for. So it was cool to talk on that. I gave a bunch of examples. Like the famous example that Denison always gives is the Zynga Facebook example, which is like Zynga was a like gaming studio that built a bunch of games on top of Facebook, like Farmville was a famous one. So many people used Farmville and Zynga was rich and stoked. And then Facebook was like, actually, let me rug you and take all your revenue and all your traffic. And Facebook made a version of that themselves, and they made it harder for Zynga to get revenue and traffic. So Zynga ultimately went away just because nothing they did, but just because of the stack that they built on top of Facebook. But that can be completely avoided when the stack you build on is credibly neutral, meaning it's probably decentralized. So if you're a builder and you build on top of Arbitrum, you are probably way less likely to get rugged, so to speak, because you have the opinions of the Arbitrum community, which includes yourself, than you would be building on a centralized organization that can just take your privileges and use cases and money away from you at any given moment, really. So that it was a really cool talk. People were really stoked on credible neutrality. I We talked a lot about one of the other examples I gave was like branding in Web3, which Tommy, I'm sure you can add to this too. But like branding in Web3, you want to be known as not just like on this deeper, more philosophical level, like credibly neutral, but you also want to be known as trusted. When you think about Web2 brands, something most of them have in common, even the ones that you're like very loyal to, is it's not trust, right? Like, do you really think like Walmart is doing anything in your interest? Do you really think that Apple makes your phone stop working after 2 years for your interests? So you can think about it in like this. It's cool. You can think about it in a philosophical way about like Web3 and decentralization and using Tally to do that, really. Or you can think about it in a like very simple to understand Web2 way, like damn, what if Apple had a DAO and you could say everybody voted to make their phone last for 10 years? And then maybe places would be more confident building on Apple and buying Apple. So yeah, it was a great talk. I felt really good about it, and it's exciting when you get like a good topic down and you can like give a good monologue that maybe we'll hear more about in the future.
I love it. Sounds exciting. I'm sad I missed it, but I'm excited to see
You'll be at
hopefully some.
Denver. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll be in Denver. I'm excited to see some hopefully some recordings of the talk. It sounds amazing, sounds interesting, and I'm sure if yours is any indication of the rest of the conference, I'm sure every talk was as invigorating and stimulating and important for the ecosystem moving forward.